Hello everybody and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. In my last video, I did a poll on Twitter of what car you guys wanted to see me restore, and I did that car, which was the Porsche 946, I believe it was, or 964, I can't remember, I always switch them up. But what came in second, very close second, was this, the Jaguar XJ220, and here it is. This is the car. As you can tell, it's in very, very bad condition. I believe I pulled this one out of a junkyard, or it might have been one of the junkyard auctions. Let me actually take a look at the car status. So yeah, 1992 Jaguar XJ220. It's 132,000 miles, way more than I think you would ever find any Jaguar XJ220. And we did find it in a junkyard. Okay, so we didn't find it in a barn. We did find it at a junkyard. Standard factory horsepower, 542 horsepower. Don't know if we're gonna go crazy with this just yet. Haven't really decided. Let's go ahead and just take a look. Parts value is 13,000. Body value 3,300. And we bought the car for 18,000. We can currently sell it for 16 and lose 2,300 bucks. So what we're going to do is we're going to restore this car, and I don't know, with the Porsche, we did go all out. We did do a lot of performance parts. I think I want to just make this factory again. I know these cars weren't the best, most amazing things factory. It's right-hand drive. I didn't even realize that. Very interesting. Manual right-hand drive. Look at this dashboard. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not anything super fancy, but I mean, it looks good. It's pretty neat. So anyway, I think I'm just going to restore this car to factory. I don't think we're going to go crazy horsepower. I mean, these things are collector's items at this point. It wasn't so much about the performance. It's more about the history of these cars and kind of just the overall styling and look. I mean, these cars look absolutely insane. So we're going to try to get this one to be back up to showroom quality and try to sell it for a big profit. So just remember, current value, 16,000. We're going to see if we can get the condition bonus up. And don't think we're going to do performance parts. I think we're just going to redo everything that's in it now. Let's just take a quick look at the... we can't actually see the engine. I mean, we can, but there we go. So as you can see, we're missing quite a few parts. We're missing quite a few parts. So let's go ahead and move this into the first bay that I'd like to take it to, which is the car wash station. It's been a little bit since I played this, so I might be a little bit rusty on what I'm doing usually. But we're going to go ahead and clean this thing up so we can take a better look at the overall condition of this vehicle. We'll go ahead and clean the outside as well. And let's take a look at that green. That's quite a green. That's like a seafoam green. That is very, very interesting. Don't know what color. Personally, for me, every time I've seen the XJ220s, they're in silver, and they look really, really good in silver. So we might end up going that route. Not sure yet. Let's go ahead and move this into the garage. Let's get it on car lift A, and we will get it up in the air, at least on the first stage, so we can kind of go over what we're going to do. So just to let you know, I have recorded like 3 other videos today, so my voice is kind of getting towards the end of its limit at this point, and these videos can end up turning out to be very, very long. If I leave in a lot of the things that you have to do to restore cars. So this might be a little bit of a shorter video, but trust me, you're not going to miss anything. You're going to miss all the stuff that is kind of tedious that we have to do. So you're going to see every step and stage along the way, but it just might be a little bit shorter than they would be normally. So, but we're going to get this car torn down. We're going to tear everything that we can off this car. Pretty much strip it all the way down to where it has no parts on it, and we can start focusing on the body. But yeah, like I said, usually these videos can end up being very, very long. I've already used my voice quite a bit today, but I wanted to get a Car Mechanic Sim video out because it was a while, and I saw a lot of people really interested in seeing the Jaguar get revamped. Let's go ahead and actually just start taking off body panels. Why not? Let's go for it. Let's just strip this thing down right off the bat. We don't have a door. I don't think there's anything up here that we can take off. Can't take off the fenders. No front bumper. Can take off this door and the windshield. I don't think we can take... Usually you can take the glass out, but I don't think you can take that glass out. So I think we're pretty much okay. I mean, we've got no components in the engine compartment or the frunk. I think what we're going to have to do is just start getting down to actually taking out the suspension components and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And I will check back up with you once all these suspension components are removed and we get to the stage of actually removing the motor. And then we'll just pull that with the engine hoist over there. And yeah, then we'll be good to actually start the restoration process. I'm sorry, like I said, it's been a long day. I've done a lot of talking and my brain and mouth are starting to disconnect from each other. So, but I've really enjoyed the content that I recorded today. I'm really looking forward to getting it out for you all to enjoy. I am kind of sitting down today and doing a big batch recording just because this weekend on Friday leading into Saturday, I don't know if this video is going to be out either before that or after that or maybe even during that. I'm not really sure yet how it's going to play out, but this weekend, Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be taking part in the 24-hour Nürburgring endurance race with the OCRP endurance team. More than likely, that will be streamed on either Ryan's YouTube or there's a couple other guys that will be streaming the race, so make sure to check it out. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get videos done and out and scheduled for you all to enjoy while I am in the process of, you know, practicing and getting ready and scheduling and all that stuff. So it's kind of, there's a lot of back end stuff that go into these endurance races, and I'm just trying to give myself a little bit of time to get some practice in before we get out into the car. Since it looks like I'm a night shift boy, I'm going to be running one of the night shifts with Ryan, and the Nürburgring is a very, very technical, difficult track to race on. And then you add the added challenge of it being completely dark. And things get interesting because there is no lights on that track whatsoever. So, yeah, just trying to give myself a little bit of time to practice and make sure that you all still have content to enjoy. So, anyway, I'm going to stop blabbing because I literally just talked about how I'm talking so much. I am also forgetting how I usually play this game, and I'm not marking things like I should be, but I'm going to get this torn down, and I will catch back up with you once all the components are out and we're ready to pull the motor. All right, we are ready to pull the motor on this. Everything is out. All the suspension components, the transmission is disconnected, so we are going to go ahead and pull the motor out of this car and put it right into our pocket. There we go. Let's go ahead and move this piece of equipment back. So as we can see, let's go ahead and go into the car status and the part list. As you can see, there is absolutely nothing on this car anymore. It is completely barren with parts. There is nothing on it. And if I go into the Explorer mode like this, you can tell completely empty, nothing in it or on it. So let's go ahead and move the welder over here. This is my favorite part, hands down. Absolutely. Watching this transformation of the rust, and gone. Wow, look at that purple, or that green. Purple. Look at that green. It really cleaned up. That green's actually not bad. It looks a lot better when it's polished. That looks really good, actually. I don't mind that color. Although, I think my heart is telling me silver. I think silver is amazing on these cars, so that might be where we end up. So, anyway. The body is repaired and completely stripped, ready for parts. The one thing that we need to do is we need to separate the wheels from the tires, as well as we need to go through and repair all the parts that we just pulled off, and then buy all the parts that we need that cannot be repaired to put back onto the car. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to get everything repaired in here, and actually while I'm here, we can just go ahead and install this engine on the stand. There we go. So that is the engine. As you can tell by looking at the outline, we're missing quite a bit of parts. We're missing a lot. So that's going to be a process to repair. And then we're going to go through and try to repair pretty much everything else that we have. And as you can see, we have quite a few things. 4 pages of parts. And then I'm going to have to buy a lot of stuff. So I'm going to do that now and save you guys the tedious process of watching that. And once I am done with all the repairs and all the parts purchased, I will catch back up with you there and give you an update on what we're going to do next. I've gone ahead and I've repaired everything that I possibly could. I tore the engine apart and repaired all the parts that I had on it, or at least everything that I could for the motor. So I think I'm ready to start tackling the suspension. There's going to be a lot of things that I might have missed because of the fact that I was talking in the beginning and I just completely blanked on how I usually go about it. And in the front, there's a lot of things that were just straight missing, like that radiator or the coolant reservoirs. All that stuff is just completely gone. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all the suspension components in. Okay, so we got majority of the suspension done. We can't put the rear wheels on just yet because, again, we need the transmission in. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase everything we need for all the extra little bits up front and in the rear, and then I will catch back up with you once all that is purchased and installed. Okay, so we got the radiator installed, the ABS, all the coolant reservoirs and everything. I'm just going to go ahead and start topping off some things that I know I can, like the wiper fluid. I believe we cannot do the coolant yet because we don't have a water pump because the engine's not in. I think we can do the brakes because all the brakes are technically installed. And then we also cannot do the power steering. We might be able to do the power steering. I'm not quite sure about that. But I'm going to go ahead and fill up all the fluids. We got the fuel tank in. I did decide, I was kind of on the fence about it, but I did decide I'm not going to do a performance car. I'm not going to do performance parts. I'm just going to build this up to be original because I think this car deserves to go back to its original glory. Yeah, okay. Yeah, power steering pump. Kind of makes sense. That was my bad. And then, yeah, we can't do the coolant because, yeah, we're missing the water pump from the motor. Okay, thought so. So, fluids we need are coolant and power steering fluid and oil still, but that requires the motor. Let me go ahead and go into the build menu, and you can see we have the exhaust we have to put in, the fuel filter, but that I think is going to be a part of the engine. So when we drop it in, the fuel filter should be attached, the engine block. And then I believe that's honestly kind of getting, I think that's going to be about it, really. I think we're actually getting there. As you can tell, we were missing everything in the frunk, but we got it all in. So what we need to do now is we need to build up this motor, and there's a lot of parts, as you saw, that are missing, and there's a lot of things that I was able to repair. Fuel filter, do I have one? No, I do not. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to need, as you can tell already. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this motor back together. Once the motor's all back together, we'll get the cherry picker and we'll drop her back in the car. We will attach the transmission. We'll attach the rear drive axles off of the transmission, and then we will put the wheels on it. And I believe mechanically, after that, we're going to be good. So, yeah, we're getting there. It's not taking too long. It's actually going pretty quick. So, I will be back right with you once we finish building up the motor. All right, it looks like the motor is completely done and put back together. Just looking over it, and yeah, I don't think there's anything that we need to do to it, so let's just put it right into our pocket as per usual, and we'll head over and we'll pick up the engine crane, and we'll drop this motor into the car. Let's go ahead and install it. Let's just take a quick look. 100%, everything should be 100%, shouldn't be any missing parts, and we're good. So let's go ahead and install this motor into the car. We'll put the equipment back. We'll take a look at this thing inside the car. It looks awesome. Looks very, very nice. And what we will do is, while we're here, let's do the power steering fluid, and we will put oil in it, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put coolant in it, and then we'll button up everything else. We'll get the rear drive axles in there, and then I think the last thing that we will do will be the exhaust. And thinking about it, there we go. Let's put some oil in this thing, and thinking about it, I might put a nice fancy exhaust on this thing just to kind of make it nice and shiny and kind of pop. especially if it's going to be sticking out of the rear. I think it'll look good. That'll pretty much be the only performance part because I haven't done anything performance related. There was a lot of options to do it on this car, but there was also not too many parts missing. It wasn't anything that was horrific. So I didn't want to go and spend a ton of money. As of right now, I think we've only spent about $7,000 on this car in parts. That's with repairs, that's with tires, that's with any parts that the motor was missing. The motor was missing the most amount of parts out of anything else in the car. Quickly, we have coolant, brake fluid, washer fluid, oil, power steering fluid. So we should be completely good on fluids. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put the exhaust in, the transmission, the drive axles, and the wheels and tires. And then I think mechanically, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and lift this thing up in the air. Let's get that transmission installed. And I think the last mechanical piece that we will put in, we do have a transmission. I also noticed I must have done a XJ220 again at some point. Don't think we have a starter. No, we do not. And rear drive axle B, we do have both of them. You're able to repair both of them. But like I was saying, I think hang on now. Why won't it? Oh, wheel hub. I didn't put the wheel hub in on this side. I was like, why won't it let me install the other side? Okay, so that's good. We do need a starter, so let's quickly just go buy a starter really quick. I must have done another XJ220 at some point because I was noticing I had a couple extra parts for some XJ220s already, so I must have done that in my spare time on another day. So we're going to put the Bs on the rear, which have the nice big fat wide tires in the rear, and then we'll put the more narrow tires up front and make sure it is B. There we go. We don't want to have a weird offset with this car. And let's go up to the front really quick and put these on. And then from there, all we need to do is just buy the exhaust and install that. And mechanically, this car should be good. We'll need to do interior, exterior paint. And then I think that's going to be it. So let's just quickly take a look. We're going to need 2 of these. Actually, these are different. So this is why I always, as much as it's nice to kind of just... Wait, that's a big piece. Is that the whole piece? Is that it? It's just that one gigantic thing? All right, hold on. Let's see real quick. Let's go into the tuning shop and we'll buy one of these. We'll buy one of these and we'll buy one of these. It does look like it's one gigantic piece. So let's see how this fits. We'll get that in there. Let's get the cats installed. And then we'll just put this rear on, and it's the entire piece. I'm glad I decided to go with the performance one because that is a very big exhaust and it is very, very shiny. So look at that. Wow, that looks really good. I love how that looks underneath with the subframe and the undercarriage, like the transmission support. That's really, really cool. So let's go ahead and lower this thing back down on the ground. And let's just take a quick overview as we look through. All these parts should, in theory, be 100%, and nothing should be missing. So when we get to the end of the 100%, which should be somewhere close, probably here, rear muffler, and then we jump into hood. This is all body panels and lights and seats and mirrors and license plates and windshields. Okay, so we're all good mechanically. We are completely good. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different from what I normally do. I'm going to move the car to the test path. So we can go ahead and just get the, does not have headlights. So let's go ahead and just get the wheels aligned before we button this car up for good, before we put all the body panels on it and before we paint it and all that stuff. Let's just go ahead and get the wheels aligned, and then I'm quickly going to take this thing over to the dyno, and we're going to dyno the car to make sure it will actually run. And I do want to proceed with the test, and let's go ahead and start it. It starts and it runs, so let's make sure it gets its factory horsepower, 542 horsepower, 473 pounds of torque. So let's go ahead and see if it can do it. This is very loud. And little bit of blow off there. So we have 574 horsepower and 499 foot-pounds of torque. So 32 horsepower increase and 26 pounds of torque increase. I'm guessing that's just off of the exhaust alone, which 32 horsepower off an exhaust is quite insane. But hey, it is what it is. We know that the car runs. We know that it is aligned. Everything is good there. So now the only thing I'm going to need to do is just purchase any body panels that we might need. I do know that we had the left door that was fixed, so we can put that back on. I don't think we have any mirrors, and I think the only other body panel that I actually, was the trunk. Everything else was either missing and or is not repairable. So I don't have anything in my shopping list. So we're going to go through and just add, we cannot do the windshield. We're going to go through and add every single piece that we need, and we can go and purchase all this and try to get everything put back together. So I'm going to do that right now. All right, so we needed a couple parts for the car, but nothing too crazy. Rear bumper, front bumper, door, mirrors, some glass, stuff like that, headlights. But as you can tell, it's all put together. I even went and bought some custom license plates for it. They say XJ220, because why not? Why not flex on people? I mean, it's not like, yeah, there might be people that don't know what this car is, but I mean, everyone that knows cars knows exactly what this car is. And I went ahead and did the interior. Can I open you? No, I cannot. Okay. But yeah, I went ahead and did the interior as well. So if we take a look at the car status, page 1 through 12, as you can see, everything is 100% down to the license plates, to the interior, everything. So we got this car completely 100% done. We've already aligned it. So what we're going to quickly do is just take it back to the test path, and we are going to align the headlights because we did just put those in and they are pointed at the ground. So it's really good that we did that. So let's go ahead and get this thing pointed up right. It doesn't like, okay, right there. That's what it likes. Get these down. These are really, really messed up. There we go. All right, so that's aligned. We got everything set up. This is, yeah, this thing looks amazing. It looks so good. Doesn't look good, different color. So let's take it to the body shop, the paint shop, and let's find a good factory color. We're gonna factory color this car. Let's go ahead and see. So previously used, no, factory, that is the factory color. Here we go, factory colors. So we have kind of a silver that I was talking about, a kind of maroon red that looks really good, like a darker kind of silver. This is more of a gray, maybe, like a lighter gray. This is more of a dark silver. Yellow, which I don't like. That's a little too in your face. We got this like really dark blue. We got white, and then we have the green that the car originally came. You know, I think I'm gonna go with I want to do the silver. I want to do the silver. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're painting it. I just, in my opinion, XJ220s need to be this color. They look amazing. This is kind of like it's kind of like a brushed silver. It's not quite like, it doesn't have the depth. Kind of looks a little like brushed, a little faded, kind of. I don't know. I like it. It looks good. It's not quite the silver that I was thinking, but it looks really good. So let's go ahead and just move this thing. I guess, actually, let's go ahead and just move this thing outside because we're done. We are done with it. Let me go ahead and just stand in the same position I was at the start so we can get a nice side-by-side shot. So you should be able to see the car, what it looked like before. It was in massive disrepair, and you can see what it looks like now. It looks amazing. I mean, look at this thing. It looks so good. It's so low to the ground. It's insane how low. I mean, look, a Crown Vic for comparison. Like the hood of the Vic is almost at the roof of this XJ220. It looks absolutely amazing. And then let's just go ahead and sit on the inside. Take a look at this. This is really, really cool. A nice cockpit. I didn't even notice. Look at the gauges. Are those on the door? That's actually really cool. That looks amazing. The fuel gauge and temp gauge and stuff. That's actually really interesting. There's also some on the dashboard. So I don't know if this is 100% accurate. If it is, that's kind of redundant, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I love the glass roof. That looks so cool. Like, oh man, this thing is awesome. So now that we've done that, the only thing left to do is let's just go ahead and take this thing to the speed track. Why not? Let's go see how fast this can actually go. All right, let's go ahead and see what kind of top speed we can get. It's completely stock, so we shouldn't have any wheel spin, and we don't. Little chirp going into second. Man, it's just out of second gear is 100 miles an hour. This thing is quick. Come on, let's see. Get up into fourth gear at 140 miles an hour. Absolutely insane. Can we hit fifth gear? I don't know if we have enough runway to do it. I don't think we do. 180 miles an hour. Can we hit fifth? Hit fifth. 100. We did hit fifth. 185 miles an hour, fifth gear. 190. We're not hitting 200. We're going to hit the wall. 196 miles an hour. Oh my God. We absolutely just wrecked it. 196 miles an hour. This car is completely stock besides an exhaust. That is insanely fast. Shifting into fifth gear at 185. That's insane. Also, just listen to this. Oh, wait. Oh. That sounds so good. That sounds so good. How do I change camera angles? I totally forgot. Can I do it? I know I could have done it on the... Oop, nope. There we go. Let's just take a look. Oh, man. This thing looks insane. It's just... It looks like it's from the future. And it's not at all. You can see that nice shiny exhaust. I'm glad we went with that upgraded exhaust. You can see it through the grate in the back. Oh, man. This thing is awesome. Look at this. Wow. We did it. We fully restored it. Let's go ahead and return to the garage. And then the last thing that we need to do is just look this thing over, see how much money we spent to fix it, see how much we're going to get in profit, and then sell it. Unfortunately, sell it. I don't want to because, I mean, look how beautiful it is. But yeah, that's the whole point of the restoration garage is we fix stuff, we bring it back to the factory, and then we sell it. So let's go and take a look again. 1992 Jaguar XJ220, 132,000 miles that was found in a junkyard, and 100% on the body, parts, frame, and interior. Factory color was that kind of seafoam green that we changed. We did increase the horsepower just a little bit. Factory power was 542 horsepower. I think we're up to, yeah, right here, measured is 574 horsepower, so just a little bit more horsepower. Actually, it says right there, 5.75% more. So parts value 87,000, body value 34,000, performance part value 5,000, condition bonus 38,000. So we bought it for $18,000. This is insane. We bought it for $18,000. I'm pretty sure I had $900,000 on the dot. So we spent $22,000 restoring this car, and we're going to make a profit of $146,000. We're going to sell this car for $165,000. So that's just insane. Altogether, this car cost us $40,000 to purchase and completely restore, and we're going to sell it for a total of $165,000. So pretty much $125,000 in profit off of just this car. So I will absolutely take that. We're going to sell it. And bye-bye, XJ220. We got over $1 million in the bank. I don't think I've ever had $1 million in the bank in Car Mechanic Sim, so that actually feels really good. That is awesome. But yeah, I'm really glad we were able to get that done. And I know the vote on Twitter was a long time ago, but I still appreciate everyone that voted. And I'm glad I was able to get that XJ220 done because I know a lot of you really wanted to see it. And I hope you enjoyed. And if there's anything else you would like to see me restore, I might post again on Twitter asking for people to vote on something for me to restore, or if I just find something really cool, I'll just end up doing that myself. But if you do like the Car Mechanic Sim videos, please like the video. Let me know if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.